Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Mimi Dollars Collection. So this is our project for today. We'll be making this semicircle bag in 5 stages. Okay, so make sure you watch this video carefully till the end. I'm going to be giving you the 5 most important steps on how to make this bag. But before then, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly click the subscribe button, like and share this video, and please make sure you turn on your notification bell button. Straight up, let us dive into the video. Materials used: I'm going to be using the clear sugar beads or the square beads, our scissors for cutting, and our fishing line 0.7. Okay, so this is all we need for the project, and we are going to weave our mat. Okay, so we'll start by weaving a mat. We'll start with 4 beads as usual. So I'm inserting all my 4 beads into my fishing line, and I'm going to cross with the last bead. Okay, I'll cross with the 4th bead and pull. Moving on, we are going to add 1 on the right, 1 on the left, and we'll cross with the 3rd bead. So 1 on my right, 1 on my left, and I'm going to cross with the 3rd bead. I'll cross, then I pull. Okay, so we are going to repeat this again. 1 on the right, 1 on the left, and we are going to cross with the 3rd bead. So I'm going to repeat this one more time. 1 on the right, 1 on the left, and I'm going to cross with the 3rd bead. So we are going to be making this 14 times because we need 15 lines. Okay, so this is 3. We are counting the side beads, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to be making this 14 times. So we have 14 lines, and we want to make the last ring. Okay, on my right fishing line, I'm going to be adding all my 3 beads. I'll add all my 3 beads on my right fishing line, and I'm going to cross with the 3rd bead. So I'll pick up the last bead, which is the 3rd bead, and I'm going to cross it over. Okay, so we are done, and we have 15 lines altogether. Okay, moving on, we are starting the 2nd line. We are going to begin with 3 beads. With 3 beads, I'm adding all my 3 beads to my right fishing line. I'll pick up the last bead, and I'm going to cross it over. Please make sure you watch this video carefully because I'm going to be highlighting a lot of things in the course of this video. Okay, so my front fishing line is going to go into the next 1 bead in front, into the next 1 bead in front. And on the back fishing line, we'll keep adding our 2 beads. Okay, you already know how we weave our mat. We'll add our 2 beads, and then we are going to cross with the 2nd bead. So we want to make a mat of 2 by 15. Okay, that's why I said watch it carefully till the end because I'm going to be highlighting a lot of things. So I just keep adding my 2 beads on the back fishing line, and I cross with the 2nd bead. Okay, I'll cross with the 2nd bead and pull, and I'm going to continue this process till the end. All right, so I'll weave that off camera till the end, and I'll show you the finished work. So we have it here 2 by 15. All right, so I'm going to weave in my leftover fishing line back into the mat to make it very firm. Okay, so moving on, we are going to count 6 on both sides. Okay, 2, 4, and 6. So we are left with 3 beads in the middle. Okay, we are left with 3 beads in the middle. We are going to weave a mat on these 3 beads because we want to form a T shape. Okay, so we already have 2 lines already, or 2 rings, because we weave 15 by 2. So we are going to continue weaving because we want to have 9 rings. So just keep watching, okay? I'm going to continue to insert my beads, one on the right, one on the left, then I'll cross with the third bead. Remember, we are weaving now on 3 beads because we want to form a T shape, okay? So I'm crossing with the third bead. So we have the third ring done, okay? So we are going to continue to weave. We'll add one on the right, one on the left, and then we are going to cross with the third bead. So we have 4 rings done. It's left 5 more rings, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. So we have 2 rings done here, plus the 2, that is 4. And then we need 5 more rings because we need the tail of the T to be 9. So we have 8 done, 8 rings. Can you see this? We have 8. So I'm just counting to make sure it's 8. All right. Make sure that your rings have added up to 8. Okay. So if we weave 2 by 15, therefore I've added 7 rings. I'm adding 7 rings to make a total of 9. So we are weaving through these 2 beads here. All right. So I'm going to turn to this side. Okay. So permit me to flip it to my right hand where I'm most comfortable to weave. And we are going to turn. Okay, we are going towards this direction. On my right fishing line, I'm going to add all my 3 beads, okay? And I'll cross with the third bead. Like I said, we are forming a T shape. All right, so I'll cross and pull. We are going to weave all the way down, okay? So I'll begin the second line with 3 beads and I'm going to continue with 2 beads, okay? So I'm starting the next line with 3 beads. I'll pick up the last bead and cross it over my front fishing line into the next 1 bead in front. And on the back fishing line, I'll keep adding my 2 beads till the end, okay? So we are at the end and I'm going to, please watch carefully. I'm going to go into these 2 last beads. Into this bead, yeah, on the tail of the T. And into the bead that is on the head of the T. Please just take it like that, okay? So our fishing line is in 3 beads. Therefore, we need only 1 bead to close this gap, okay? I'm just going to pick up my 1 bead and then I'll cross it over. So we are done with the second line. It's left 1. So our front fishing line will go into the last bead. Okay, that with that same fishing line, I'm going to add my 2 beads and I'm going to cross with the second bead. So we are going to weave all the way up, all right, to complete our T. My front fishing line into the next 1 bead in front, and on the back fishing line, I'm going to keep adding my 2 beads till I get to the end, okay? Please make sure you pay attention because after the T, we are going to begin the 5 most important lines, okay? So I'm just weaving a mat. I'm going into the next 1 bead in front, and on the back fishing line, I'll keep adding my 2 beads till the end, okay? So I'm done and this is how our T looks like. So we have 6 lines on the left, 6 on the right, and 9 in the middle. So this is the dimension, okay? Right now we are going to begin our lines. We are starting with the first line, all right? Please watch carefully. Get a fishing line. Make sure it's long enough. Okay, everything is so white here. Please make sure your fishing line is long enough. We are going to go into these 2 beads here. this bead on the tail of the T, the first bead here, and the first bead on the head of the T. All right. So I'm going into this bead here and into this one. Please watch carefully. This is the first line. Now on this fish line, we are going to weave all the way up, okay? On the fishing line that is on the head of the T, we are going to add 2 beads. I'll add 2 beads and then I'm going to cross with the second bead. I'll cross with the second bead and pull. Okay. My right fishing line, this fishing line, I'm going to go into the next 1 bead in front. We are weaving all the way to the top, okay? I'm going into the next 1 bead on the tail of the T, and on the back fishing line, I'm going to add my 2 beads. Please make sure you pay attention. I'm crossing with the second bead. I'll cross and pull. We are going to go into the 3rd bead on the tail of the T with our front fishing line, like so. Now we are going to apportion our beads, okay? Please watch carefully. We are going to put our beads like this, 3, 3, and 2 to complete stage 1, okay? Now on my front fishing line, this one that is on the tail of the T, I'm going to add my 3 beads, okay? I'll add all my 3 beads and I'm going to cross with the 3rd bead. I'll cross and pull it. Now we are going to weave downwards, okay, towards the head of the T. So I pull. If you watch it carefully, we have a ring of 5. Now our front fishing line is going to go into the next 1 bead in front. I'm going into the next 1 bead in front. And on our back fishing line, I'm going to add the next set of 3 beads, okay? I'll add my 3 beads and I'm going to cross it over with the 3rd bead. I'll cross and then I pull. Can you see that we have the second ring of 5? All right. Now I'm going to go into the last 2 beads, into this bead and into this one here. Into the last bead on the tail of the T and into the next bead on the head of the T. Can you see that? I'll pull it out. Right now our fishing line is in 3 beads, but because we are making rings of 5, we are going to close this up with 2 beads. So on my back fishing line, which is the fishing line that is on the tail of the T, I'm going to insert my 2 beads and then we are done with stage 1 or line 1. I'm crossing with the second bead, then I'll pull it. So we are done with line 1. So this line you have 5, 5, 5. Isn't that simple? Moving on to line 2, we are going to insert our front fishing line, this one on the head of the T, to the next 1 bead that is on the head of the T. Okay. So I'll insert my fishing line there. Now this is how our beads are supposed to be. We'll be adding just 2 beads, 2 beads, and then we are going to end up with 1 bead. So please take note, the line 2, we are weaving a mat. So on this fish line that is on the head of the T, I'll add my 2 beads and then I'm going to cross with the second bead. I'll cross with the second bead and pull. You already know what it means to weave a mat. So I'll go into the next one bead, into the next one bead in front, like so, into the next one bead in front, and on our back fishing line we'll keep adding our two beads. Okay, so I'm going to weave that all the way down, and I'm going to end with these two beads. Okay, so on the back fishing line we'll keep adding our two beads, and then we are going to cross with the second bead. I'll cross with the second bead and pull. So I'm just going to continue to weave this off camera. I don't want to bore you. So we are at the end. I'm going to go into the last two beads. Okay, please watch carefully. We are going into these last two beads. I don't want to forward this video because all the stages are very important. Okay, so I'm going into this bead and into the next bead on the tail of the T. Right now our fishing line is in 3 beads, and since we are weaving a mat which is made up of a ring of 4, we are going to close this up with 1 bead only. Insert your 1 bead on any of the fishing line and then you cross it over, and we are done with the second line or the stage 2. Moving on to stage 3, our front fishing line. Okay, don't worry, our front fishing line is going to go into the next 1 bead on the tail of the T, like so. And now this is how our beads will be. We'll be using 3 beads, and then we are going to end with 2. I couldn't put all of it on the table because my beading space is very small. Okay, so I will shift that aside, and then on this back fishing line we are going to add our 3 beads. Again, we are making rings of 5. I'll add my 3 beads, and then I'm going to cross with the 3rd bead. So the 3rd line is made up of rings of 5. So I'm going to go into 1 bead. Can you see we have a ring of 5? I'm going to go into 1 beads. Okay, sorry, into 1 bead. I'll insert my fishing line into the next 1 bead, and on the back fishing line I'm going to keep adding 3 beads, which will be adding up to 5 rings. Okay, so I'm adding my 3 beads and I'm going to cross with the last bead. We have our second ring of 5, and I'm going to go into the next 1 bead in front, and on our back fishing line we'll keep adding our 3 beads. Okay, so I'm going to weave that till the end and I will show you what to do. All right, so we are almost done. We are going to go into the last 2 beads. Okay, the last bead that is on the tail of the T, and into the next bead on the head of the T. Okay, so our fishing line is in 3 beads, and because we are making rings of 5, we are going to close this up with 2 beads, and we are done with the 3rd line. Okay, so our fishing line is in 3 beads. I've added 2 beads and I'm going to cross with the second bead, and we are done with the third line or the third stage. Please watch carefully. Now, if you count your rings, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you should have 6 rings of 5 for the stage 3. Moving on, we are going to continue with our stage 4, which is the crucial stage. Please watch carefully, okay? So my front fishing line, this fishing line, I'm going to go into the next one bead on the head of the T, like so. And my back fishing line, I'm going to enter into one bead backwards, okay? So at this stage, we are going one step forward and one step backward. Please take note. Our fishing line is in 3 beads, okay? Now, we are going to set our beads. We'll be using 3, 3, 3, and then we'll end with 2, okay? I didn't just place everything on the table because of my beading space. So know that you are using 3, 3 beads throughout, and we'll end with 2 beads, okay? Now we are making rings of 6. And on the fishing line that is on the head of the T, we are going to insert all our 3 beads. I'm adding all my 3 beads, and I'm going to cross with the 3rd bead. So stage 4, we are making rings of 6. So this is our first ring of 6. Please watch carefully. Now our front fishing line, we are going to go into the next 2 beads in front. So we'll be going into 2 beads, okay? Please watch carefully. I'm going into the next 2 beads in front. Into the next 2 beads in front. And on my back fishing line, I'm going to add 3 beads, okay? I'm going to add 3 beads. And I'm going to cross with the 3rd bead. I said I won't forward this video because I want a beginner to be able to make this bag, okay? So I'm going to keep weaving like this. So this is our second ring of 6. So we are going to continue entering 2 beads. Please watch carefully. Like I said, this is a crucial stage. So we are almost done. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And we are supposed to have 6 rings of 6. Our front fishing line is going to go into the last 3 beads, okay? So I'm going into the last 3 beads. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Now, if you watch carefully, our fishing line is in 4 beads, and since we are making rings of 6, we are going to end this with 2 beads only. So on our back fishing line, we are going to add 2 beads, and we'll cross with the second bead. Please get a fishing line that is long enough so that you can use just one fishing line to weave throughout one side of the bag. We don't want to cut and join, okay? So if you watch carefully, on the 4th stage, we have 6 rings of 6. Okay, if you count all, we have 6 rings of 6. And we are going into the last stage. So we'll go into the last bead on the tail of the T, and this is a simple stage, stage 5. And this is how our beads are going to look like. Let's apportion our beads. So we are weaving a mat, so we'll be using two beads throughout. They will end with one bead only. Okay. So on my back fishing line, I'm going to add 2 beads. We are making rings of 4, all right? And I'm crossing with the second bead, and I'm going to pull it out, okay? So at this stage, we are going to go through one bead. Okay, I'm going through the next bead. I'm inserting my fishing line into the next 1 bead in front. Sorry guys. And on my back fishing line, I'll keep adding my two beads to complete my ring of 4. Please, like I said, please make sure your fishing line is long enough. As you can see, I still have my fishing line very long. Just use one fishing line to weave through the sides, okay? Through one side of the bag, so that your bag can stay in place, especially if you are a beginner. All right? Please take notes. So I'm just repeating the process. I'm crossing with the second bead. I'll be going through one bead whilst I'm adding two beads. So I'm at the end, I'm going through the last bead on the tail of the T side and into the last bead on the head of the T. And again, our fishing line is in 3 beads, and since we are making rings of 4, I'm going to add the last 1 bead, and we are done with the 5th stage. Okay, so these are the 5 important steps on how to make this bag. The rest is what we have been doing throughout our bead making. So I'm going to weave in my leftover fishing line to make this mat firm, okay? So we are going to repeat what we have done on this side as well. You start with these 2 beads. You're going to weave back and forth, all right? So if you have been watching up to this stage, please, you know what to do. Click the subscribe button. So this is our finished work. You can see it's looking beautiful, and we are going to weave a mat around it to form space inside our bag, okay? So you know how we weave our mat. We are going to add 3 beads. We are starting with 3 beads. We are going to cross with the last bead and pull. We are crossing with the last bead and pull. We are going to go into the next 1 bead in front. And on our back fishing line, we'll keep adding our two beads. Okay. So this is what we have been doing. If you have been watching my videos and you have been beading, this is a simple thing to do. So we are creating space inside the bag, and we are going to weave around the sides two times. 2 times on the front side of the bag, 2 times on the back side of the bag, okay? So I'm just going into the next 1 bead whilst on the back fishing line. I'll keep adding my two beads. So I'm going to weave this off camera till I get to the end. So we are going into the last bead, like so. And with that same fishing line, we are going to add our 2 beads so that we can turn and add 1 more line to our bag to create volume inside the bag. So we are done with the first line. We are going to repeat this 1 more time. We'll start with 3 beads and then we'll continue with two beads, okay? So when you are done, this is it. Weave in your leftover fishing lines to make it firm. Right now, we are going to join the front and the back side of the bag together, like so. So I'll place them side by side each other. Now get a fresh fishing line and insert it into the one bead on one side of the bag. I'm using my leftover fishing line, and on the back fishing line, add up one bead and then go through one bead on the other side of the bag and pull. Now pick up one bead and then you cross. Okay, I'm going to cross that over and pull. My right fishing line will go into the next one bead in front as well as my left. So my right fishing line is going into the next one bead in front on the right side of the bag. My left fishing line is going into the next one bead on the left side of the bag. I'll pick up one bead and I'm going to cross. Okay. So this is how we join our bead bags. Most of our bead bags, this is how we join them. Okay, so I'm going to continue this process till when I get to this side, I'll flip it over, then I'll continue to bead all round. So I'm done joining both sides of the bag, and this is how beautiful the bag looks. It's so cute. Can you see that? It's so big, it has volume. So we are going to shape the sides. You can leave it that way, but I want to shape the side of the bag, okay? So my fishing line is here in the middle bead, okay? We have two on one side, two on one side. So I'm going to insert my fishing line into the three beads that are in the middle, okay? These three beads here, leaving out one on the right, one on the left. Then I'll pick up one bead and I'm going to cross it over. Like I said, this is optional, but I want to shape the side of the bag. Okay, and I'll pull. I'll just press it down. I just press it down and pull like so. I want to shape it. So please watch carefully. On the third bead, we are going to go on that straight line. Okay, this straight line downwards like this. Same on this other side. Okay. So my right fishing line is going into the next one bead downward on the right side, following the same line, okay? Same as this one. So I'm just going to repeat this 2 times, okay? We want to just use 3 beads to shape the side of the bag. I'm picking up one bead, then I'm crossing it over. We are going to go into the last beads on both sides of the bag. I'm going into this bead, one bead downwards, like so. I'm going to repeat same for the other side of the bag. I'll repeat same. Then I'll pick up one bead. I'm going to cross it over and pull it. Please make sure you pull it very well, okay? Because this is a semicircled bag. It's not like the regular square or the rectangular bag. So I'll pass my fishing lines through to the top bead, okay? Because I want to start forming the bag handle from the top. All right, so I'm just passing, weaving my leftover fishing line. So if you watch carefully, we have 4 beads here. Okay, we have a ring of 4 here. This is where we are going to weave our mat to form the bag handle. So to form a bag handle is just weaving a mat. We start with 3, we move to 2, 2, then we end with 1. So on any side of the fishing line, I'm going with my left. I'll first add my 3 beads. So we are still weaving a mat, okay? I'm going to cross with the 3rd bead and I'll pull I'll pull it out. So my right fishing line, I'm going to go into the next one bead on that square. Okay, we have 4 beads on the square. I'm going to go into the next one bead on that square. And on my left fishing line, I'll keep adding my two beads. I'll add 2 beads and I'll cross with the second bead, okay, and pull. So we are going to go into the third bead on that square. Into the third bead on that square, I'll add the last 2 beads. I'll add my last 2 beads and then cross with the second bead and pull. Crossing with the second bead. Then I'm going to go into the last bead on that square, okay? And then into this bead that is facing upward. Alright? The first 3 beads that we added, okay? So our fishing line is in 3 beads and we are going to close it with 1 bead, okay? So I'm going to do this one more time. Alright? So we are forming the back handle. So we are going to weave on that square. I added my 3 beads first. On any side of the fishing line you are most comfortable with. And I pull. So my right fishing line is going to go into the next 1 bead on that square. And on my left fishing line, I'm going to add 2 beads. Add my 2 beads. Cross with the second bead. I'm going into the third bead on that square. And on my left fishing line, I'm adding 2 beads. And I'm going to cross with the second bead. And we are going to go into the last bead on that square. Into the last bead. And into this bead that is facing upward. The first 3 beads that we added. So this one that is facing upward, I'm going to insert my fishing line to it. Our fishing line is in 3 beads. Therefore, we are going to close this up with 1 bead. So I'm just going to weave half on this side, half on the other side. Then I'll join it in the middle. Or you can weave all the way to the other side, okay? So I have it like this, half on the left, half on the right, and then we are going to join both sides together, okay? So make sure the lines are matching up properly, and then you join it the same way we join our bag. On the back fishing line, I'll add one bead, and I'm going to connect it to the other side. Make sure it's matching up properly. I'll pick up 1 bead and cross. Insert it on any side of the fishing line and cross. I'll cross it and pull. I'm going to insert it into the next 1 bead in front, like so. Into the next 1 bead on my left. I'll repeat same on the right. I'll pick up 1 bead and cross. Alright. I'll cross this and I'm going into the last bead, like so. The last bead on the left side and the last bead on the right side. I'll pick up the last bead and then I'll pull it out. At this stage, I'm just going to pass my fishing lines through to the other side so that I can get a space where I'm going to tie it up, okay? So I'm going to pass my fishing lines through. I want to secure the line. So I'll turn it this way. And then I'm going to make sure I tie it just 2 times, okay? Please tie just twice is enough so that you can easily weave it and then you hide the knot, okay? So I'm tying and I'm going to weave in my leftover fishing line, and then we are done with this cute, beautiful semicircle bag. Please make sure you secure your bag handle very well, okay? So I just went on to weave 5 lines to make a cover for the bag, just 5 lines. Then I added a small flower on it, and this is how beautiful the bag looks, okay? So that small flower is still the same like the bag handle. You just weave round 1 square, and I use pearl to do so, okay? So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, kindly click the subscribe button, like and share this video, and please do not forget to turn on your notification bell button, because where this is coming from, more is going to come. Thank you guys. Till I see you in my next video. It's bye.